Welcome to this new video where we're going to talk a little bit about Assetto Corsa Evo. Yesterday, January 9th, 2026. Kuno Simulator Sony, the game's developer, released a new trailer. A trailer of about 2 minutes, which I think is actually pretty cool. It's short. It lasts about 2 minutes. There are many different shots and images, so there's a lot to discuss about them all. And today, in this video, I simply suggest we go over all these little new pieces of information we have about the open world, and all the little things we can learn by looking closely at everything that's shown here. By the way, if you noticed other details or information about this little trailer, feel free to leave them in the comments under this video. So, for now, what we need to remember is that the open world in Assetto Evo hasn't been implemented in the game yet. For now, Assetto Evo is currently there as a kind of technical base on which the developers regularly add content. They've added tracks, they've added new cars, but the big thing that's going to make the difference compared to Assetto 1 Assetto competition, and even, I want to say, compared to the competition, is that Assetto Corsa Evo wants to be the first truly sim game, with really realistic driving, to offer a really big open world, because here we're talking about an open world of 1,600 square kilometers that will come update after update. That means starting with the surroundings of a town called Herb, and then expanding to cover the entire German province of Eifel. So, it's really a reproduction, a one-to-one scale, meaning it's at real scale, of something that actually exists. And honestly, that's already incredible. All of this combined, and you'll see it in this video, is at a pretty high level of detail. Honestly, the world, even if the colors are maybe a little less saturated and less, let's say, artistic than in a Forza Horizon, well, honestly, it's beautiful. So, the fact that it's both ultra sim on the driving side and offers a big open world with dedicated features, well, it's really kind of unique in its own way, and that's really the thing people are expecting from Assetto Evo. So, for now, there's no planned release date for this first part of the open world, but the trailer still shows that a lot of progress has been made. So what cool things does this trailer show us? First, it shows us 2 new cars. Let's do that first so it's finished. And you'll see it's really not the main thing revealed. As for the new confirmed car, we obviously already have the Porsche 911 Gran Turismo, 3 Rennsport, 992. With the VSAR pack, as usual, we'll have the standard version and can optionally install the VSAR pack. Also, the second car is confirmed. We see it from a distance, but we still see it. It's the Golf R8. So, indeed, the Golf Grand Touring injection is already in the game. But here, from what we can see from afar, between the exhausts that look bigger, and especially, on each side, the blue paint as well as the rear spoiler, it seems to indicate that it's definitely a Golf R. So, 2 new cars confirmed, but I want to say that's not the most important thing. Because, anyway, new cars. There are already plenty that have been bought in the game, and there will be plenty more added later. What's already pretty cool is that it's the first time we're seeing so many different shots of the open world and so many different types of environments. Because it's true that since the beginning, when they've talked to us about this open world, they've shown us almost only the hub and its surroundings. Now, we're starting to see some real little towns that look pretty nice. Still, it's true that it's something we've kind of overlooked. Because when we talk about Germany, we might think more about forests and big autobahns. By the way, in this trailer, we also see a short sequence with the highway, which is pretty cool. We'll talk about it a bit later. But it's not just forests in this region at all. Some fairly large cities exist here, and I've found a few for you. This province also has several big villages and sizable towns. So for now, we don't know exactly which ones will be modeled or not. But we do know that they're not very far away. For example, Adno has 3,000 inhabitants. Dawn about 10,000 and Justjarken, a bit farther away, has 60,000, making it a fairly large city. In the game, cities, houses, and buildings are laser scanned and recreated. Even if they use the small towns I mentioned, with 3,000 to 5,000 inhabitants, well, we're still going to end up on Assetto Corsa Evo, with somewhat urban landscapes and quite a few city roads as well, which is also pretty nice for immersion and to vary the gameplay a bit. We see the city, plus some landscape and a small Autobahn section with many junctions, exits, and entrances for cars. That looks promising. And then we see quite a bit of countryside as well. And honestly, that wasn't on my bingo card for Assetto Corsa 2026. But there are cows, no matter which shot you look at. Even if the map isn't as detailed as Forza Horizon, that's understandable since it's 15 to 16 times larger than Forza Horizon 5's map. All this was accomplished with a budget about 30 times smaller, yet it still looks good graphically. Overall, I don't think players tend to explore Assetto Corsa Evo's open world with less focus on details than in Forza Horizon. But what's quite interesting is that no matter what scene is shown, whether it's in the countryside, in the cities, or even the new footage we shot directly in the heart of it all, every time something cool happens, the open world feels alive. You see NPCs in the pits at the end, moving around. As I said, we saw cows moving. so there may be animals in some areas, including during the sequence itself. In the city, you can see there are pedestrians, people gradually walking along the sidewalks. Now, don't get your hopes up. I don't think you'll be able to run them over. So, all of that, even if it doesn't change anything in terms of gameplay, clearly, it won't change the feel of the game. Well, it's still really cool because it doesn't look like they're doing things halfway. They could have added an open world where they just reproduce the roads from the Eifel region, without adding any decorations, without putting much care into the roads, without adding any shops, without adding houses, and without adding NPCs. It still would have been pretty satisfying. Just knowing that you could drive on the real route with a car in the game was cool. Here, as with the rest of the game, they didn't cut corners and focused on details. Overall, I think we can be satisfied with that. Another thing that's pretty nice and that we see throughout this trailer is the life on the roads. Because, well, there will be pedestrians, as we mentioned, but there will also be quite a few cars in traffic, although it's pretty hard to tell for now. With these captures, it's really about being able to tell the difference between cars driven by players, cars driven by AI drivers, and the cars that are being driven. It's hard to say for sure about the NPCs in traffic, but there are definitely some. In scenes along the river, you can see dozens of cars passing in both directions at once, with utility vehicles as well, like vans or trucks. Even if, among them, in the distance there are a few cars driven by players or by non-player character drivers, well, there's probably a large part of them that are simply the new traffic system, since that's already been confirmed. You can really see it in the overhead shot of the Autobahn, with about 20 or 30 cars on screen at once. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, but personally, I think it's actually really cool. Honestly, I was a bit afraid that ASSETTO Corsa EVO would drop this open-world project, or that it would be done in a rush just to keep their promises. And honestly, for now, it seems to be just like the rest of the game. Whenever they do something, they really put effort into it. Now, all that's left is to confirm the release date for the open world. For now, at the end of the trailer, it's still not clearly stated. It still just says it's coming in 2026. That's still a bit vague. But during the last update, the current update, we're at 0.4. The developers had announced that 0.5 would actually be the arrival of the first parts of the open world, so it's supposed to be pretty imminent. Maybe we'll only get 100 square kilometers, maybe even less than that. At first, though, it'll still be the start of something pretty bland, and still, thanks to all this, we're going to have a pretty good 2026 on the racing game side, because between ASSETTO EVO, which is making great progress, and Forza Horizon 6, which is coming to Japan, I think we're going to have a good time. And by the way, I wonder if this little trailer wasn't released a bit hastily, just to compete with the announcements that were made about Forza Horizon 6. On January 22nd, that's kind of their strategy. Every time there's news, for example, about Gran Turismo 7, well, the day the power pack for Gran Turismo 7 was released, ASSETTO EVO, at the last minute, even at noon that day, they released the 0.4 update, even though absolutely nothing had been confirmed until then. So, there you go. Let me know what you thought. If you noticed any other details, feel free to leave them in the comments as well. Don't hesitate to like this video, and follow me on Twitch for the next live streams. Because obviously, well, as soon as it happens, we'll be grinding it live. We'll rack up miles with viewers in multiplayer on the NERB in the Eifel region. Follow and subscribe to support the channel. See you tomorrow for the next video. Take care. Bye.